Well, for the very latest, let's go to London. Our correspondent Benedict Pavio is there. Benedict, tell us a bit more about who has made it through to the next round.
Well, let's go through this list of 10. Let's just first start by saying one person pulled out, Sanjima. He was the only one who was proposing a second referendum. And let's go through them alphabetically as they were announced. So Michael Gove, the Environment Secretary, he's willing to delay Brexit if there's progress on a deal, he says. And of course, we know that date is now the 31st of October after the UK didn't leave on the 29th of March. We've got the Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, the former Chief Whip, Mark Harper. We've got, as you said, the Foreign Secretary, Jeremy Hunt, who also did his launch, as did Matt Hancock today. He doesn't want to trigger, he says, a general election before delivering Brexit, because he knows how punishing that would be for the Conservative Party that did so extremely badly, came fifth in the European elections recently. Sajid Javid, Home Secretary, he could be a one to watch. Boris Johnson, who is the former Foreign Secretary, of course, a prominent leaver 3 years ago in the EU referendum campaign, and of course also ex-mayor of London. We'll come back to him, I'm sure, in a moment. Andrea Leadsom, who ran once before, but you'll remember stood down. She was down to the last 3 years ago. And of course, it was Theresa May who, in the end, it was a coronation. And that is a reproach that is being made. There need to be hustings, debates and policies need to be talked about, debated and questioned. So Andrea Leadsom, former leader of the House of Commons. We've got Esther McVeigh, who's a former journalist, and she is the former Work and Pensions Secretary. Dominic Raab, who did quite a good launch today, the former Brexit Secretary, who says he's the only real Brexiteer who will secure and deliver that Brexit. And finally, we've got Rory Stewart, the International Development Secretary, who also wants to become Tory leader and next Prime Minister, who's been doing a very, very successful media campaign where he's going along up and down the breadth of the country and engaging and talking to the public.
Yes, they're all trying to stand out from the pack at this stage, aren't they, Benedict? But as we've been saying, Boris Johnson does remain very much the front runner.
He is. He's the front runner. He has charisma. He has that recognition factor, not just in the United Kingdom, but also, of course, abroad, even more so because he was Foreign Secretary, but he was even known before that. But some people say he's very divisive, and his problem is he needs to make it down to the last two. So I should say that there will be the first ballot on Thursday. We should know around about 2 p.m. Paris time who hasn't made it through. There'll be other successive ballots, and then it will be whittled down by the 22nd of June down to 2 names. Those 2 names from the 313 Conservative MPs will then be submitted to the Conservative card-carrying members, about 160,000 of them. And that's where Boris Johnson needs to make it onto that list if he really wants to become the next Tory leader and Prime Minister. He, as I was saying, is also seen as divisive. That is his problem. And what is interesting is he hasn't given a single broadcast radio or TV interview, unlike all the other candidates, so the other 9 candidates. He has given policy details. He has written articles, but he's very much awaited to see his launch. And it is his to lose is very much the feeling here. And he is somewhat gaffe prone. So this is what the media and others are watching for. I should just say that the headlines that Michael Gove, the Environment Secretary, got over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday and Monday, about taking cocaine have actually harmed his chances of being one of those 2 and becoming the next Tory Prime Minister and Tory leader and Prime Minister. But we'll see. Early days yet.
Yes, the battle is certainly heating up, isn't it, Benedict? And I'm sure we will see you again. Thank you very much indeed. Benedict Pavio there.